Good morning from Central Virginia. It's only 8 in the morning, but already it's over 80 degrees. So I'm getting out here today early just to kind of check on things, see what's happening, um, watch the pollinators at work here on these beautiful sunflowers, water, because water is really important, and to assess what my deer damage is for the night. Uh, Ironically, I came walking out here and heard a rustle just right over here towards the east, like not even about 10 feet away from where my mowed edge is here. And lo and behold, two deer jumped up and ran off. So, they're just kind of all over the place here. And they have been doing some damage on my outer garden that I've not had before from deer. Um, and let's take a look at some of that deer damage. Maybe talk about what to do in the short term before I really get a chance to fence this whole thing in. So let's just do a quick little walkabout, see what's what, um, take a look at some beautiful things. And I hate looking at what the deer have done overnight, but I got to do it. First off, though, let's take a look at these beautiful sunflowers. This was a self-planted plant, and I just love coming out and seeing all the pollinators on it. It just is flooded with them. They love it. Look at all these bees, busy as they can be, swarming, big and small. Not swarming, but flocking to this sunflower. I could sit here all day and do nothing but watch them. This is my what I call my sweet potato pen. This year it's also got zinnias in it and a watermelon plant. Just been checking on my watermelon plant in here. It's a sugar baby to see whether we've got any melons forming. Don't see them yet, but I do see some good development on the sweet potato front with those pretty zinnias. All right, well, here's an example of deer damage right here. This is a squash plant, butternut squash, and they have come right up and eaten all the leaves right off of this whole edge. I really don't know what I'm going to do about this because there's no way I can really block this off from them at this point. So far, they've left alone, knock on wood, the peppers and the watermelon growing out here, as well as the eggplant. Which reminds me, I need to come and pick this beautiful eggplant today. Maybe I'll do that this morning. Looks like the very first tomatoes are getting close. These are mariglobes. That's nice. Hey, dear, what else have you done? Damage have you done? Yeah, you've done damage on this melon plant, all right. I didn't think they would eat the melons because the cantaloupe, because they have, kind of fuzzy leaves that don't taste so good, but they've eaten the sunflower, eaten two sunflowers, and they've eaten all the leaves off of the top of this Edisto melon. Now, what I'm going to do, because that's not a nice thing for these deer to do, I'm going to come down and give these a watering with some liquid fertilizer, particularly nitrogen, to kind of boost up their green leafy growth again since they lost so many of their leaves. I do see a melon. Yay. They seem to be leaving the Mexican sunflowers alone for now, but never say never. Okay, this is another area where I'd had some damage from the deer, but this plant is recovering. This is a cucumber plant, an Armenian cucumber, and you can see here where the deer had done the damage, but we've got good new growth coming up. Oh, and look, these are Hocus garricans that are coming up. Now, we did have rain, a quarter of an inch of rain the day before yesterday in a very nice storm. And always after that, you get mushrooms popping up, which I always like to see. One of my tasks today is going to be giving some liquid fertilizer and also mulching down these pepper plants that are here in these pots. I don't like the way the roots are showing there at the surface, and I'm going to go ahead and put some hay mulch right down in there and keep these nice and cool because they were getting hot. But ooh, I've got some really nice, these are Marconi peppers. This is the cayenne pepper, that plant that had been really struggling, but it looks like it has regained its mojo here and is coming along. And here's another pepper, a jalapeno pepper plant. I harvested a bunch of them yesterday for some relish. Here are my artichokes that I'm letting to go to flower. They really progress beautifully. So pretty. Well, this little guy has perked up. Here, this is a Seminole pumpkin, and I've planted a couple of plants there, and this is just a little extra. I threw some hay bales down here last year to sort of make an end to this particular blackberry row, and I planted into it this year. Here's another example of deer damage. This was a beautiful amaranth plant, and they just came right along, completely obliterated it. I'm going to be giving it liquid nitrogen feed today too to try to regenerate its growth. Well, I'm still waiting for beans to come up here. I've been keeping this well watered. Now it's only been a few days. However, the same day that I planted the beans, I planted some second round of Armenian cucumbers, and they are ripening. So when this plant gets too old, then we will have those. Now look at this. These are adult lanternflies, and they are fast. Obviously, another thing I'm doing this morning is my usual invitation for bubble bath to the lanternflies. I figure any lanternfly that I kill in my garden is one that's not reproducing on the trees out there for next year. These are Chinese red beans, long beans, that are going to start climbing up this trellis. If you look carefully back there, you see the very first Kellogg breakfast tomato getting ripe. Yay! This is the bed where I planted the lima beans, and I think we're getting our first sprouts. As I look closely, come out wherever you are. Here's one that looks like it got the top eaten off. Here's one about to come up. So it looks like maybe this second planting, yeah, I see more that are starting to emerge. So hopefully we'll get some lima beans in this patch. I've been really diligent about watering these newly planted plants that I did earlier in the week really, really well. And I'm doing it twice a day, except for the one day when we actually had rain, to really keep these beds moist while that germination is taking place. This time of day, I just love being out, seeing the busy pollinators doing their thing. This is my melon plant. This is the Eden Gem. And they have done their thing, because look, there's a pollinated and growing melon. Here's the Trombocino squash now. It's on the march. Once it starts going, it goes. This is the lemon squash plant, and the blossoms are just so pretty on it. I have picked my first lemon squash, and I see a couple more forming in here. This is going to have really good production, I know. All right, so things are looking pretty good. I'm really happy that I've got some germination of these later planted beans and cucumbers, and hopefully we'll get these pumpkins, second round pumpkins, going soon. Let's talk about this area here, because obviously this is where we're getting the deer damage. I put this here just to try to deter them. Maybe I'll actually try to unfurl this and put it out a little bit further to make a little bit of a barrier, or we'll get to the farm store and get some more roll fence just and kind of put it up broadly here to try to deter them from coming in closer. All right, so what are my tasks for this morning before it gets too hot? Number one, I need to water. Number two, I need to fertilize all the things that are in the pots, and I need to give some fish emulsion fertilizer to the plants that have suffered the most deer damage, specifically my melon patch over there and that poor amaranth plant. Beyond that, I think we're pretty good today. I harvested a ton of cucumbers in the past couple days. There are more on the vine. I've been doing things like making relishes and such. So I may do some more of that kind of work indoors today as it gets warmer. I'm very excited that I'm not going to try to do the relationship, but my father's great nephew, which would be my first cousin twice removed, don't try to figure it out, who has grown up in Austria, is going to come tonight, and he's going to stay with me for as long as he likes, and help me in the garden and get to know some of his relatives here in the United States, which I think is really, really dear. So you will be meeting my relative, my first cousin twice removed, Sage Dittmer, soon in a video coming to you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're not pestered by deer like I am, and I hope your garden is growing well. I hope you're getting rain, not too much, but plenty. Take care. Bye.